Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get
goddamn
sleazy.
burps.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're stinking the studio up.
Sorry. I've been sucking down cough drops.
I don't know what that is. That rotten egg smell, dude.
I'm sorry.
You were like becoming the toxic Avenger right in front of our eyes.
I have a medical condition.
I'm on Ozempic.
It's Monjuro. If you're going to fuck with me, do it right.
Monjuro.
Oh, you
It's
and
French.
It's
stinky fuck.
It's Monjuro, and I have shitty burps. Rotten egg burps that just float right in your face.
you and what's her name? Who's the Megan Trainor?
Oh, yeah, I saw her. Dude, she looks way better with her weight.
She looks fine. She looked fine.
Yeah.
I think she was pregnant and maybe she put on more weight, so then she.
Oh, yeah, and
There's
then
some
she just.
people when they're heavy and they lose weight, they look like a skeleton. They look really
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people that are on, this Ozempic and Monjuro, and what's the Eli Lilly one? I forget. That's like the off-brand one or whatever.
Yeah, that's more just for weight loss. That ones are for diabetic. This is straight for you just to stop eating.
But they have this weird, like they get this sunken face look,
Well, I remember like when Drew Carey was like heavy and then he lost all that weight and he looked so weird.
Yeah.
Well, and plus like with Jonah Hill too, when you've seen him with so much weight and then he drops down, it looks like
I wonder if it's just because we're so used to seeing people with weight.
Yeah.
And you just like, oh, you don't look well.
Yeah. I think don't kick off is sickly.
But I think it's from using that stuff. I thought I saw an article or something that talk about like you can that look of people who are on like Ozempic and that stuff. They look like that because of the way they're losing weight, as opposed to like if they were on a diet and losing weight differently.
Well, if you were exercising,
Oh, that's what it is. That stuff like it leads to muscle loss.
Yeah,
and that's I think that's what it causes those features that we associate with it. Because if you were just going on a diet and exercising a little bit, you wouldn't be losing muscle with it as well.
So is that why Rob looks like a bowl of Jello?
I do.
I mean, hasn't he always?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, I'm getting extra jello-y, I guess. So.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Like it's just hanging off you now.
Yeah. It was like I was looking at my clothes. I'm like, this like fucking hangs off me. My pants hang off me.
Oh,
It doesn't help when you're 5'4" anyway. You got short ass legs. I mean, shit doesn't fit you right anyways. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So this is episode 209 of the Sleazy Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sleazy. And as always, I'm joined by my number one, my go-to, Mr. PBS. And the third chair, it's the pit bull, Robzilla.
I woke up from my nap and realized I was gonna be late. It's like fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you weren't talking at all. I'd sent a message out. I was like, hey, if I buy some burgers, you guys want me to grill them out? PBS was like, I could go for some burgers. I'm like, okay. Didn't hear from you. Then I was like, hey, I'm on my way back. I'll be over in 20.
I'm like, on my way.
I'm on my way. That's what he was like, I'll be there in 20. But yeah, so.
Yeah, I was going 75. I wasn't fucking around.
Oh, man. 75 on what roads to get here? The freeway?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's not the back roads here. I'm not no psychopath.
You got I do like 60 on the back roads. So. But
60 is fine, not 75.
Getting a little experience in the car, and you're getting more dangerous now. It sounds like I gotta get there.
I gotta get there, man.
Slingshot engage.
Yeah. And that I'm driving the Tuttle too, so.
Yeah, how's that going?
Oh, it's fine. Well, it's like when I go, it's like there's really no traffic.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the funny story before we start was it's last week. I was driving back. I was getting ready to merge and I saw a car coming pretty fast, but then it looked kind of weird. I was like, what the fuck is this? So they passed me. The guy's that's standing, like he's standing straight up in the sunroof, has his camera out. Here comes 4 fucking guys on ninjas, just like you cutting in and out of traffic.
Oh, man.
I was like, I hope you flip your fucking bike because I am not calling 911.
Fucking highway pirates, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
He like merged into my lane with no turn signal. He's like floated in. I was like,
I'm just not a motorcycle fan. Never have been, and I never will be.
Well, guys like that give other motorcycles a bad name. That's what it is.
Sure. I mean, they're just so dangerous. Like, even if you're being safe, like, you know, they always tell you, make sure you look left again in case a motorcycle's coming, because that's how quick they come. And, you know, you just can't see them all the time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're dangerous, man. I don't care how, like, skilled you are driving a motorcycle. It's still dangerous. Like, the other people that are on the road are.
Exactly. It's what it is.
Yeah. They're more of a, you know, I'm at a loss here, but for the word I'm looking for, they're more of a danger to you than you are to yourself at times.
The amount of times I've seen people cross over lanes with no turn signal going
turn signal.
Boy,
we're just all fucking out of sync.
Turn signal. That's 3 lanes. Like it's fucking fast and
furious.
furious.
But I mean, a lot of people that have motorcycles, when they get in that groove, they're just kind of in and out of traffic and hitting it. I did watch one time. I remember seeing a guy. He was on a not like a Harley or anything. What are the crotch rockets?
Yeah.
But a cop pulled out after him.
Ninja, whatever.
Gone.
Yep.
Just took off. That cop had no chance of catching him.
Yeah.
But all right, so we have a full episode for you. Last episode we did like 2 hours almost.
We were on a roll. That's all.
Yeah, we just got to talking.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the Diddy trial because we haven't talked about it. And fresh off of their pardon, the Chrisleys, Todd and what's her face got pardoned by our president.
Piece of shit 1 and 2. I just
then we're gonna go to Zilla's Tubi pick because he has one. Then we're gonna do Whatchu Watchin, and we'll mix in the Last of Us finale on that. And then PBS and I, we will talk Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. So it is a full freaking show.
Got that right.
All right. So we're going to talk about Diddy first, the Diddy trial. All right. A timeline of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs. Look at that crazy fucker, dude.
I'm ready to rape you.
Have you guys heard anything about this?
No, I've heard like other stuff. I did hear, I think it was he had a recorded phone call with his son. He's telling him,
I've heard that.
Yeah,
Take the pizza boxes out.
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm like,
that's old.
This motherfucker, man, he is grooming.
Now, the Kid Cudi and Cassie, they testified earlier last week, and it was some good shit.
Okay.
I mean, not good for them, but
it's good for us. But
he sounds like just a terrible person.
And there's that one video of him, like, was it that woman he was beating?
It was like Cassie, I'm pretty sure.
I did hear someone say he's reading his Bible in court.
Of course he is.
Yeah, time to play the God
card. Who the fuck is bothering me?
You're a popular man.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. As soon as we record, my phone goes off. I just need to mute.
Who the hell's gonna bother me on podcast afternoon?
Yeah.
I sit down to watch The Equalizer.
I'm right. It's like scary movie. I told you to come in my room.
Like, and I have I need to turn it into theater mode so my watch doesn't vibrate. But I'll do that right now before we kick this off. That way I'm not bothered and it doesn't throw me off.
See, that's why I don't bother you. I know how popular you are.
No, Rob,
I'm not bothered.
Rob, you can message me anytime you want.
I know. Then you message me. I'm like, oh, he's not busy. I could talk to him.
But some of these people, they'll message me. Like, I don't mind it if it's good stuff. But sometimes I'll get a message like, here's this limited edition pop that you might want. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that. Like,
I'm on my limited
but I mean, I
edition.
get it.
Fuck.
Like looking at it, like, I don't want to sound jaded or anything, but, it's nice to be thought of, I guess you could say. Like, I'm just frustrated. I'm trying to do something and somebody's messaging me. I appreciate the message. If anybody's listening that's sending me messages,
let's leave me alone for like an hour.
But don't.
Some people have seen my phone before. Like, I remember when I was at work, they were like, how do you keep up with all that? I'm like, you just do. It's a rough life and it's not meant for everybody.
The trick is you don't. You double post something that Robzilla posted a day ago and he just won't stand up for himself.
He doesn't.
That's okay.
Rob doesn't send anything anymore. He's
got anymore.
Yeah, he's got no time for that.
It's the cross you bear.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the cross you bear for irresponsible spending. All All right, the federal trial against hip-hop tycoon Sean Combs is finally getting underway. Some 8 months after he was arrested on criminal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. Combs, also known by a number of monikers, including P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, and Puff, concurrently faces dozens of civil lawsuits from men and women who allege that he drugged and sexually assaulted them. Yikes. As his trial proceeds in a Manhattan courtroom, over the next several weeks, we will be keeping you up to date at each stage of the trial unfolds. This is from NPR.org, by the way. All right. So May 13th, 2025, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend, took the stand as the star witness in the first full day of testimony. Ventura accused Combs of physically and emotionally abusing her for years and exerting control over virtually every aspect of her life. Most of her time, she said, was dominated by Combs' freak-offs or FOs, drug-fueled multi-day marathons of sex with prostitutes that he orchestrated and directed. Sounds fun. Like, what's the problem here, people?
Right.
You mean you wouldn't go to a freak-off if you were invited?
It's a freak off.
Right. I wonder if he had, like, you know, where people had to check their phones and
Oh, probably put like
I gotta imagine.
Yeah, like those like
the shit that was going down there.
Like those binders you
bag.
put it in the phone and it blocks everything.
It's like that one recording where you hear that dude getting tore up and you're like, oh my God.
Was it? They say it was Meek Mills.
Yeah. I don't know if it was him or not, but
It's still funny, dude.
yeah.
It is funny to
Is
me.
it funny?
Yeah.
Hit that shit. You're like, oh, okay, buddy.
My mate's a little too aggressive.
Whatever's your flavor.
Yeah.
That sounds a little aggressive though.
He was getting hate fucked, is what it was.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
You didn't do as you're told, Meek.
May 12th, 2025, opening arguments begin. Federal prosecutors are accusing Combs of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If he is convicted on all counts, the hip-hop mogul could face life in prison. Combs, who has been in federal custody in Brooklyn since his arrest in September 2024, has pleaded not guilty to all charges. See, it's like it's going backwards here.
Yeah. See, I'm curious if like, have they even came out and like interviewed J-Lo since they dated for so long, and if there's any?
I haven't heard anything from her.
I was just curious. Because at this point, someone comes out like, I saw it from the start, but I just couldn't say nothing.
Yeah, I got this because it was a timeline.
Yeah.
So May 5th, they had jury selection, yada yada yada. Maybe we can find there is a clip of, well, it's not a clip, but somebody wrote down what Kid Cudi was saying, and like what Kid Cudi was saying was ridiculous, dude. Hold on, let's see if we can find this real quick. Google, don't let me down. Kid Cudi testimony against Diddy. All right, let's see. Oh my God, a criminal enterprise may be emerging in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial.
So happens when you get rich, you just get bored and just make up random shit.
Oh, here's one from BBC. Diddy kidnapped ex-aide and a plot to kill Kid Cudi. Trial hears. All right, so this one's from BBC.com. One of Sean Diddy Combs' former employees has testified the hip-hop mogul kidnapped her at gunpoint, then broke into rapper Kid Cudi's home in a plot to kill his love rival. Capricorn Clark, who worked on and off for Mr. Combs for more than a decade, told his trial that the defendant and security guard had shown up at her apartment in 2011 and forced her to drive with them to Kid Cudi's home. Get dressed, she recalled Mr. Combs saying, "We're going to kill this expletive." She also told the court Diddy had threatened to kill her on her very first day working for him. And you kept working for him? Like, what's the problem here?
Hey, about that cash.
Mr. Combs, 55, has pleaded not guilty to racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The Kid Cudi incident was first discussed in trial last week when that rapper, whose legal name is Scott Mescudi, took the stand to testify against Mr. Combs. He detailed his relationship with Mr. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, an alleged break-in at his Los Angeles home in an incident in which his Porsche was damaged by a Molotov cocktail, which he believed Mr. Combs orchestrated. Can you imagine Diddy walking out of the house and just lighting the rag in
with some of his music playing in the back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad boy for life.
Been around the world, and and he just launches it right at the Porsche. Yeah. Isn't that what he always used to say to him? Yeah.
And you got like
bad boy for life.
And they got Mace in the background doing his little thing.
Yeah. Oh, Mace ain't trying to deal with this dude. Mace is
he wasn't built for the streets.
Mace is a born again Christian or something like that nowadays, isn't he?
Yeah, he's something.
All right. He detailed his relationship with Mr. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, an alleged break-in at the Los Angeles home in an incident in which his Porsche was damaged. Mr. Combs is facing possible life in prison if convicted on federal charges in racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. So we've got some bullet points here. Kid Cudi testifies at Diddy trial about Molotov cocktail attack. Diddy a mastermind, how Cassie's testimony builds the case against him. Oh my God. What is Sean Diddy Combs charged with, and how long will his trial last? The rapper has separately denied accusations in a barrage of civil lawsuits that echo some of the claims made in his criminal case. In her testimony on Tuesday, Miss Clark, who was a global brand director for Mr. Combs' Bad Boy Entertainment, said the hip-hop mogul had arrived at her home in 2011 after he discovered Miss Ventura was in a relationship with Kid Cudi. Mr. Combs was holding a gun in his hand when he arrived, she said, and appeared livid and told her, we're going to kill Cudi. I'm not going to say his name because that sounds stupid. Nobody knows him as that. She told the court he forced her to get into a car and go with them against her will, the BBC's U.S. partner CBS News reported. Under cross-examination by Mr. Combs' lawyer, Ms. Clark denied that she went with him voluntarily. Once they arrived at Cudi's home, Mr. Combs and security guard went inside while she called Miss Ventura, that's Cassie for those of you that don't know, from the car and told her what was unfolding. When Mr. Combs returned and caught her on the phone, he became more angry, Miss Clark said, adding that they sped off as Cudi arrived back at his home. Afterwards, the court heard that the defendant had told Miss Clark he would not let her go until she and Miss Ventura were persuaded Cudi that Mr. Combs was not involved in the break-in at his LA home. If you don't convince him of that, I'll kill you. I'll kill all of you. Sorry. Mr. Combs told Miss Clark, she testified. Miss Clark also described the difficult working relationship she had with Mr. Combs over the years. On her very first day on the job, she testified Mr. Combs threatened to kill her as he warned that her past work for other rappers had better not become a problem for him. Can you imagine Diddy saying that?
Yeah.
It better not be a problem for me.
As that music playing. It's
You
like,
know,
if Steph is a big problem for him, then why even fucking hire her then?
right,
You know,
right.
If you're worried about that.
But she told the court, despite the tumult, she also felt like his protector and wanted to remain in his circle. Boy, that's just like a total victim thing going on there. Yeah. He broke the ceiling of what we were allowed to do as black people in the business world. Okay, I can see that. Is that all?
But it'll give you a right to rape people and try to kill people. Sorry.
Here's one about Cudi testifying.
He'll just ask for Trump for a pardon. It's fine.
Rapper Kid Cudi. Well, did you see where 50 Cent is already like on Trump about that? He's like, if he gets convicted, you should pardon him.
I don't know why, because there's an interview with 50 Cent talking about like Diddy was like, hey, let's go shopping. He's like, this motherfucker asked me to go shopping. I mean, like, so he's asking,
it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Like he was trying to fuck you 50. Yeah.
All right. This is from BBC still. Rapper Kid Cudi, the biggest star yet to take the witness stand in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, alleged that the rap mogul threatened him and was behind a Molotov cocktail attack that damaged his Porsche. Cudi, whose legal name is, we just said that, testified for about 2 hours on Thursday, answering questions about his relationship with Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who testified last week. The star told the court he also believed Combs was involved in a break-in at his home. Later, Combs' lawyer emphasized that there was no evidence of Combs' involvement with either. Kid Cudi was among several witnesses who testified Thursday as the third week of the trial ended before a long Memorial Day break. Combs, we already know that. Says, "Are you in my house? Look at that Porsche." Oh, hold on a second. Let's put it back up on the screen.
Damn.
Yeah, so that looks like a convertible, and he just went right through the. Oh, you know that fucked that car up.
Oh yeah.
Kid Cudi told the court he and Miss Ventura dated for a few months in 2011 after Combs asked him to record music with her. Cudi also testified about a series of incidents involving Combs. The first happened in December 2011 when Cudi said he got a frantic call from Miss Ventura, who said Combs found out that the two were seeing each other. Cudi testified that he took Miss Ventura to a hotel for safety, then got a call from a mutual friend who said Combs and another person were inside Cudi's Los Angeles home. Cudi told the court he immediately got into his car, drove to his home, and calling Combs on the way. Combs answered the phone, he testified. Expletive, "Are you in my house?" Cudi recalled asking Combs. He alleged that Combs told him he wanted to talk and responded, "I'm over here waiting for you." Cudi said he arrived at his home to find his security cameras facing the wrong way and unopened Christmas presents from for his family rifled through. His dog was also locked in the bathroom and was acting jittery and on edge. Oh my God. Hopefully they didn't do anything to that dog. He tried to call Combs again. "I wanted to confront him. I wanted to fight him," Kid Cudi said on the stand. He said he reported the incident to police. Oh yeah, look at that burn damage there. It's a sweet car. Kid Cudi also told the court that shortly after his relationship with Ventura ended in January 2012, his car was bombed with a Molotov cocktail. Cudi testified that he got a call from his dog sitter who said his car was on fire. He told the court that he came home to find a hole cut in the roof of his Porsche and an explosive inside. Prosecutors showed the jury photos of the interior of the car, which was charred. Cudi accuses Combs of being behind the incident, though the mogul denied any involvement at a later meeting. The jury also heard from makeup artist Malaya Morales, who told the court that she feared for her life after witnessing Miss Ventura with a black eye, split lip, and knots in her head on one occasion. Frederick Zemore, the general manager of a hotel where Combs often booked, also testified about deep cleaning after Combs stayed there. Ooh, geez. The front desk noted that the guest always spills candle wax on everything and uses excessive amounts of oil.
Baby oil.
Freak off.
When the trial resumes on Tuesday next week, the jury is expected to hear from Capricorn Clark, the woman who called Cudi when Combs was allegedly breaking into his home. Insane. What do you say?
It's amazing the monsters that come out after they have so much money and think they can get away with it. It's insane.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with a lot of money and fame and power is you forget about things and you think you can get away with a lot of things. Like
there's no consequences for your
money
actions.
will make even the best of people monsters.
Yeah.
In some fashion.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Diddy fashion, but
yeah.
Yeah,
that's extreme.
Sounds like he's a sex addict and he got addicted and he was like, there's these people out there that offer services. Let's take advantage of them.
I mean, I'm almost a billionaire. I'm a billionaire basically. So why not? And it's just like, basically when you have that much money, you can do what you want. And it's just like, they get so bored and it gets more extreme and more extreme. It doesn't help if you're an addict.
I wonder what Tom Cruise is up to. Do you think Tom Cruise has like a secret sex cult or something?
I feel like there's something wrong with Tom.
Like he can't be this nice guy that he portrays all the time. Like I'm just waiting for the day when something comes out about him.
Yeah. Let's just say we wouldn't be shocked. It's just like, it's just depending on what it is.
Where's Shelly?
Like when what's her face ran from him when they split, Katie Holmes. So, I mean, it's like all these women run from him after they had their year with him or whatever. So who knows?
So they had that interviewer ask him the question, like, Father's Day is coming up. What would your perfect Father's Day be? And you could just see it in his face. Like, I just like going to the movies and
to eat some popcorn at the movies.
Like,
fucking weirdo.
I haven't seen my children in a decade. So Father's Day is kind of not my.
You know what the best Father's Day would be? For me not to see my children and to be jumping out of an airplane somewhere. Or maybe going to space.
This is cinema.
Yeah. He's such a weirdo. Yeah, Kid Cudi actually compared Diddy to a Marvel villain on the stand.
That's great.
Yeah, it just sounds like it does sound like he's on some villain shit, like just showing up at people's houses because they are having a relationship with your ex-girlfriend. Like, how obsessed are you with this woman, dude?
Right.
Like, you do realize you're a multi-millionaire. You don't need to obsess over a woman.
Yeah, you can buy almost any woman that you want at this point.
And you're having sex with dudes, supposedly. But
that doesn't matter. We're just talking about, no, you should be raping guys.
And that's the thing. Like, everybody always talks about how legendary Diddy's parties are. Like,
literally everybody.
Like, when people are asked about Diddy, like, usually the first thing out of their mouth is like, he throws great parties.
It's always that.
So how many people are involved in these Diddy freak offs?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm that was crazy though when they raided his house and they found all that baby oil. Like, what do you need that much baby oil for, dude?
I
mean, obviously we know, but
people came out too like, those great parties, but I left before all them freak offs. Like, I guess that's
sure
like,
sure
you did. Yeah, you probably recording that shit. Yeah,
Sean laid you out in front of everybody, and you don't want anybody to know.
Yeah,
I wasn't at the party.
Yeah. Right.
I was at the party, I'm at the freak off party.
It's funny though how many clips people are sharing now. Like, the writing's just been on the wall, and it's been so subtle that we haven't been able to notice. Like, what was it? Arsenio Hall, when he had him and Mike Tyson on at the same time, and Diddy kept reaching over and trying to put his hand on Mike Tyson's lap, and Mike's like slapping him away.
I tell you what, that's ballsy to try to touch Mike Tyson.
But I mean, you listen to the Kid Cudi testimony, and you're like, this dude he's a psycho.
Yeah.
Like, who throws Molotov cocktails in people's cars?
Diddy does.
Yeah, apparently. Well, he didn't do it. This is all allegedly now. Maybe Diddy was just a jerk to all these people, or maybe he hate fucked them all, and they're trying to get him back for hurting them.
I get it. But too.
It definitely sounds like they've got him dead to rights on almost all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So Diddy's going to be in jail for a long time.
He's going to have fun in that jail.
At least until Trump pardons him.
Yeah.
I forget what did he say about Todd Chrisley and what's her face?
It
was a racket.
I can literally tell you the bullshit. He's a great guy. He was just punished the wrong way.
Blah, blah, blah. It was a racket. It was all politically motivated.
Yeah. Even though he's just a piece of shit thief, but I'm gonna pardon him anyway.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah.
You imagine, like, you go back in time to like the KKK, the Klan bombing black churches, and like, this is the politically motivated trial.
Yeah.
Never mind the bombs I threw.
Yeah.
I killed people. Politically motivated. I'm being attacked.
Do you think that's what Hitler said back in the day when?
Oh, you know he did.
As the Allied forces were making their way and he's getting ready to pop that cyanide, he was like, can the people not see I'm trying to do all this good for the world? This is politically motivated.
Right.
The Jews made me kill all of them.
You made me the monster.
Right. Okay. So next up, we're going to talk about Todd Chrisley. Chrisley knows best. This one comes from newsnationnow.com. Todd Chrisley maintains innocence, vows to fight for prisoners. I bet you will, buddy.
Yeah. All the dicks you sucked in prison.
Yeah. Wasn't that like a thing? Like, his wife caught him having an affair with some dude.
That was and I guess I
think he denies it.
Yeah, and then there were some emails
he denies a lot of obvious things.
Like, dude, we watched the show. We know you're gay. Like,
there's nothing. The show.
Yeah, I like the show.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a great show when it was on. I guess they're doing another show now. Like, it started the minute he got out of prison.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah.
It's like Chrisley pleads not guilty.
Yeah.
Chrisley pardoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, they even got we can watch this real quick. Remember, if we got to talk, just cue to me and I'll pause it. So.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the attention to this matter. I know folks have wanted to talk to Todd and Savannah, so they're here to do that. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell a few words. We'll take questions after.
How are you guys? Good.
I bet you're good.
How you guys doing today?
Look how buff he looks. He was hitting the weights when he was in there or something.
Something called cock.
It's like what was the one movie with the guy from Game of Thrones that had his hand cut off in Game of Thrones? I forget his name.
What's Shot Caller?
Yeah, where
Nikolai something.
he becomes a white supremacist in prison.
Yeah,
but they're doing
money.
they're doing like body squats with each other on their shoulders, and you're like, I just imagine Todd Chrisley doing body squats with some big black dude on him.
That's hilarious.
You think he was? He was like,
I bet he was like a boss in prison too. Like,
I bet he ran shit.
He had the keys to the yard or whatever they call it. That shit's hilarious.
You all are gonna do what I say, or there won't be any chocolate for you.
Yeah.
I can get chocolate in here.
No, this sweet vanilla.
If you want cigarettes, Savannah will smuggle them in for you.
You guys want your cigs?
We woke up today and they're still at home. So it's honestly felt like such a dream to have them at home. And I'm just so grateful, obviously, to President Trump, the administration, Alice Johnson, just everyone within the pardons office. Alice obviously came on my podcast a year and a half ago, I think, before she ever even got the role. What I respect about her is
I can't help but stare at his face like he
doesn't want to do it.
No, he's just standing there like, I want to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
She's not.
Look at this. How many fucking crosses do you need around your neck? Like, Jesus.
More the merrier.
Right. Like, we get it. You love Jesus.
I love Jesus.
I love Jesus. I was just talking to somebody about this.
Make the call. I love Jesus.
The priest call on South Park.
Yeah. I love Jesus.
we need that on the soundboard next.
Not in the art of giving favors. Neither is President Trump. And when
Fucking hillbilly.
Here we go.
she got the role, she looked into our case. They saw the injustices. The media loves to run with this 30.
The injustices of swindling Atlanta banks out of millions of dollars with no intention of ever paying it back.
The injustice of being held responsible for my actions.
Right.
How fucking dare you?
The injustice of us getting free money.
$3 million scheme without doing the research to look into the documents. And there was no $30 million scheme, but I just appreciate the administration looking into it. And
there was no $30 million scheme, except that they presented it in court amongst a jury of your peers who probably all see, I wouldn't say all, but a good percentage of those people share the same political views and, religious views as you. Your parents are some fucking criminals.
Yeah. Sorry.
See, I hate to bring the news to you.
Yeah.
Seeing the faults within our case, the corruption, and just the weaponization of the DOJ. So
I love how they all have to say the DOJ. Like no one can say Department of Justice or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's cool to say DOJ.
That's not.
We're just so excited and moving forward. Obviously, getting them home the past 2.5 years, I have fought. Like that was my number one priority, was getting my parents home.
Because I need somebody to keep paying me.
But now that they're home, now we move on to all the other men and women that are in the system and getting them home. And I know we're going to continue to work.
It's nice that these people have finally found a purpose in life.
Yeah.
They went to jail for being falsely imprisoned, and now they've got to help everybody that's ever been falsely imprisoned.
Yeah.
Whatever. They'll forget about all those motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. As soon as it's done. Yeah.
As soon as they get that paycheck from whoever the fuck's paying them for that new show.
We're going to be in DC, and mom and dad are now along for the ride because we're not leaving those men and women behind. There's too much work that needs to be done. There's too much reform that needs to be done. So we're just super.
So every time when they says there's too much work to be done, it means you'll be on the fucking golf course for like 6 months straight.
There's too much work that needs to be done, like us rich people being able to do whatever the fuck we want and not going to jail.
Super excited, and here he is. Doc. Chrisley, after running from,
There.
Oh my God.
So has the wife spoken or even the son?
I haven't heard. I've heard the son speak.
Oh, I see.
He was in an interview. That dude is clueless.
Yeah.
If he didn't have rich parents, he'd be on the street.
He'd be on his OnlyFans making that money.
Well, no, he'd be on the corner holding up a sign like, need money for beer.
Yeah.
The media in Nordstrom yesterday.
Good morning, guys. Thank you all very much for coming today, for having the interest.
For having the interest.
I want to thank first and foremost my Lord and Savior, because that's who got me through it.
I'm so fucking tired of it. These
already.
people that come on.
I don't know how you can sit there, support this, and back this person getting pardoned. Who's
Right.
Legitimately,
I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior for helping me get through the greatest time of my life and dating so many guys in the system.
And then it cuts to Buddy Christ from Dogma.
Yeah. Like, if it wasn't for my Lord and Savior, I wouldn't have been able to steal that $30 million from those Atlanta banks.
Strength to swindle all these poor peasants people out of the money.
I needed luxury cars and paid taxes on my houses. That's expensive.
Thank you.
I want to thank President Trump. I want to thank the administration.
Yeah, you better thank President Trump as quickly as you can here.
He probably has people like, yeah, you better thank me. Get on your knees and thank me. He probably say shit like that to him too.
Yeah, I bet Donald was sitting there and somebody slid the iPad in front of him and they were like, hit the play button, sir. I'd like to thank President Trump. It's about time. It's about time somebody thanks me for all the hard work.
All the hard work I do around here.
He put the auto pen on that pardon.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yes. I
yes.
want to thank Alice Johnson. I want to thank every person that has prayed for us, that has stayed in the fight and that fought for the truth to come out. And so I am grateful for it. And as Savannah said, she has fought a long fight. And for any parent to see their child fight this hard, it's a double-edged sword. It's a blessing, and then your heart breaks because your child has been placed in that position to fight for you, when as a parent, you're supposed to fight for your children. So I will always be grateful to you from the bottom of my heart. We've had wonderful legal representation, maybe not the first go round, but certainly when you picked up.
Daddy.
And we're certainly grateful to you, Alex, and to you. This is the better looking version of our team. So, we're grateful for everything that has happened thus far. And as bad as this experience has been, there's also been a lot of blessings to come from it.
Here we go.
I'm already getting so.
Here we go.
Sick of it.
I'm just such a better person because of this.
I have met some wonderful men. I have listened to some
I bet you have.
Yes, you have, sir.
I bet you have, dude.
horrific stories about things that have gone on in our system. And whether you believe it or not, because I was you at some point, even though this pardon has happened, I still was convicted of something that I did not do.
No, you weren't. You were convicted of something you 100% did do.
It could be you. It could be you. It could be
could
any
be
of
you.
you. And somewhere in this room, someone has had a family member that has been affected by this system. So I understand the shame that's around it, but I refuse to feed into that, because shame is like a cancer that just spreads, and I have no shame.
Apparently you don't.
It could be you, Robzilla. You could be falsely convicted of fraud of millions of dollars. It could happen to you.
Yeah.
I love how they, like one person asked him, like, do you have any remorse for the things you done? I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever,
That's
dude.
false.
Like, these people are so full of shit. And this right here proves to you that there is another class in society that plays by different rules.
Yep.
Like, if we did the same shit to fucking a credit union and then another bank here in Columbus, we'd be in jail for a long time.
No question.
For a long time.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't be no pardon. Wouldn't be any bullshit about us being falsely accused and it being a racket or whatever the fuck Donald Trump said.
A coup.
Like, let's face the facts. They broke the law and they were trying to hide it forever, and it caught up with them. And they make it to be something political, and it's not. Like the department, the DOJ is the one that started this shit during the Trump administration, the first Trump administration. So this has nothing to do with political. This is about you breaking the law.
Yeah.
You broke the law and you got caught. Just own it.
Yeah.
You want a different set of rules for you because you're a celebrity. Like, give me a fucking break. My heart pumps piss for these people.
I can give a fuck.
I hope they lose every fucking penny they have.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Nope.
I guarantee you in the next coming weeks, they'll have a fucking meme coin.
Oh, yeah.
And all these dumb fucking idiots that are buying the Trump meme coin, they'll buy that too.
Stupid fucks.
Yeah. These people are going to lose everything they've worked for.
Good. You should be poor, homeless, and live on the fucking street for donate your money to billionaires.
Like,
Sorry.
did we not learn anything from, the Sam, what was that guy's name that ran the crypto firm?
Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, Sam Bankman-Friedman or whatever. Like, did we learn anything? Like, it's a scam. It's all a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. They need more money to keep spending money.
Even the Hawk Tuah girl fucked people over with that fucking coin.
I think she got swindled by the people that wanted to sign her up for it or whatever.
Still.
But this dude, he's a piece of shit. And to get up there and they have this parade and make them out to be the victims, like, give me a fucking break. Don't make me laugh.
Fucking martyr.
It's what they are. They really are.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Like it gets me so pissed off.
Yeah.
It does.
What's Google's AI? Let's see.
I have to Google it.
Gemini or whatever.
Gemini,
Okay.
yeah. Google Gemini. Hello, Eric. So let's see here. Allow while visiting the site. Can you please tell me everything that Todd Chrisley and his wife did to get put in jail? Okay. Are you going to? That's still going. Sorry. There we go.
Skynet.
Right? Like, it's just common knowledge that this stuff's all out there. And, somebody will say,
I do my research.
well, AI is not really accurate. You need to check all this stuff. Like, well, I mean, this is all stuff we've heard and we know about. Like, anybody that's followed this, it's just easier to ask this. Bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud banks. They conspired to defraud community banks in the Atlanta area out of more than $30 million in personal loans. False documents. They submitted fake bank statements, audit reports, and personal financial statements to banks to obtain these fraudulent loans. Lavish spending. They used the fraudulent obtained money to buy luxury cars, designer clothes, real estate, and travel. Sound familiar? Loan cycling. They would use new fraudulent loans to pay off old ones. I mean,
fucking realtors.
Yeah. Bankruptcy. After spending the money, Todd Chrisley filed for bankruptcy, walking away from over $20 million of the fraudulently obtained loans. Fake rental documents. Julie Chrisley also manufactured false financial documents to rent a luxury home in Los Angeles and then failed to pay rent on it. See, these people, they're like the worst people in the world.
They're almost like they're like rich squatters. Basically.
Yeah.
The thing to remember is like there's all of these laws that allow rich people to kind of get away with
right
anything. And these people are so stupid and greedy they got caught.
Yeah.
Like when I'm sure there's everything in here is legal except lying, basically. That's
yeah. Right.
And they just sucked at it.
Well, I think it was you that sent the TikTok. It was some guy was just reading the emails that they pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all plain as day right there. They are 100% red-handed caught, you know?
Like, I think you
literally said like, yeah, go ahead and lie about it. Make a fake one.
Yeah.
He's like, just because you can't figure it out doesn't mean that you can't.
Like in one part of the email, he's like, if you can't fucking do this, give me the other person that can work the magic and make this go away.
Right. Well, he said something to him too. I've been like, you know what? I'm just gonna forward this over to everything because you're pissing me off.
Yeah, fuck them, dude. Tax evasion and other crimes. Conspiracy to defraud the IRS. Todd and Julie Chrisley, along with their accountant, conspired to evade the assessment and payment of their income taxes. I wonder if their accountant's in jail.
Yeah, he is.
You notice he didn't get a pardon, did he?
Oh, fuck no. He's staying.
Hiding income. They operated a loan out company to receive income for their reality show and other ventures. To avoid collection of $500,000 in delinquent taxes owed by Todd, they kept the corporate bank accounts only in Julie's name. Transferring ownership. After the IRS requested information about accounts in Julie's name, they transferred ownership of the corporate bank account to Todd's mother for to further hide his income. Failure to file and pay taxes. They failed to file tax returns or pay any taxes for several years, including 2013, 14, 15, and 16. False claims. Todd Chrisley falsely claimed on a radio program that he paid $750K to $1 million in federal income taxes annually, despite not filing or paying personal income tax return for years. Obstruction of justice. Julie Chrisley was also convicted of obstruction of justice for submitting a fraudulent document in response to a grand jury subpoena to cover up their lies to the bank. In June 2022, a federal jury found them guilty on all counts, including conspiracy to commit bank fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax fraud. Julie Chrisley also faced an additional conviction for obstruction of justice. They began serving their prison sentences in January 2023, though their sentences were later reduced. However, they recently were granted full presidential pardons. Yeah, they're not good people.
Sorry.
And, you know, I haven't seen too many people defend them or anything, but they know they got off. They got off big.
Yeah. That's the thing is they know they did.
Yeah.
Look at his face.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
He's relieved that he's finally out.
And he knows all the shit he's going to have to like all the back pay for the people who's got him out.
Well, whatever. Okay. So we are now going to move on to
Zilla's Tubi pick of the week. Each week we pick the best from Tubi's vast selection. This time it's a dud. I watched a film so bad it made my eyes go wide.
Oh. All right. So what do you got for us this week, Zilla?
All right. So for this week,
I mean, I got it in front of me. I just want to hear you say it.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was just so I have 2024's Graveyard Shark. And boy, was this fucking hilarious. Still not a good movie, but man, there's some parts I laughed my ass off.
It looks rather interesting. What kind of shark is that?
It's a graveyard shark.
A graveyard shark. Obviously, I guess.
You kind of see the origin of the graveyard shark. And I don't know how it could be what it looks like. Let's put it that way.
All right.
But yeah, so let's see here. Sorry.
You want me to read it off?
You got to quit coddling the boy.
I know.
Well, no, I was pulling it up.
This is his segment.
Yeah, so I was just pulling up.
You got a whole fucking tablet right in front of you, bro.
Well, I know. I was logged in my.
That's why I brought the tablet.
That's the
me.
reason why I had it on Letterboxd.
My God, you're so full of shit.
Yeah, look, he can't handle. He couldn't handle handle it when it was just his phone. He's got two screens now.
He's melting down right in front of our eyes.
It's a meltdown. Okay, so synopsis is:
I need energy too, Rob.
It is a gripping horror film set in the small town of Willsboro Point.
Rob, you're at a 5. We need you to go up to 10.
5.5 at least.
No, we need you to go up to 10, then 11.
Is that the max?
That 11's the max.
Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
We just put it at 11.
Go for it. Like, I want your best radio voice here.
I don't have one.
Well, fucking learn it.
Can't. So, it is a gripping horror film set in the small town of Willsboro Point. Haunted by the terrifying urban legend known as the graveyard shark, this humanoid creature stalks its prey in the town graveyard, striking unexpectedly and leaving a trail of blood in its wake. Abby Westcott, a renowned cryptid hunter, is called in by Dr. Jan Lovnick to uncover the truth behind the urban legend. As Abby begins her investigation, she learns the creature's dark origins from Captain Isaac Sayburn, who was present on the night of the legend began. Together, Abby and Seaburn team up with a group of graveyard shark survivors to put end to the creature once and for all.
Where's the grit in this reading? You should have been like, for once and for all.
It
Show some of that. Show some of that. That personality. Get it off, man. Come on.
The thing with this one is apparently the only thing to do in this town is to hang out and party at the fucking graveyard. It's just like these people go on picnics and like, a woman's getting proposed to at the graveyard and the shark comes up and just fucking starts killing them.
Oh, wow.
It's just so
is it like
bad.
a person in a suit?
Yeah. It's a person in a suit. So like the very beginning of it, they're teenagers, but they look old as me.
Right.
In the graveyard. And then like, I'm starting to watch it. And then this part comes up. I'm sitting there and they hear some noise and the girl's like, who's out there? And you see like behind the tree, there's like a little thing go real quick, walk by. It's just so fucking bad and hilarious. But dude, it was a fun movie just because it's so bad. And there's some,
so it's got an average rating of 3 stars. I can't believe that.
No.
You gave it 2. I saw.
I liked it better than a movie on Netflix I just watched too. So just because it was absolutely hilarious.
We got to read some of the reviews here.
Yeah, the reviews are hilarious. Like I don't know what these people are smoking, but
I just know Shyamalan is intimidated by this masterclass in script writing. Okay, but when I come back, this is going to be oh so sweet mouth hole of yours. In that oh so sweet mouth hole of yours. Also, why is the shark hot? Okay.
Oh my god, dude.
The director of this must have been on the same thing that Doug was on for the entire movie. Okay. Not rating, could be completely honest. So I'll just say I'll never forget this. 2024 ranked.
Well, there's like a guy in it. He's like nonstop stoned, and it's like they make these outrageous names for the weed strand. So
look how muscular this shark is.
He looks like he's got like a leather jacket. So he's like an 80s.
The shark wears a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Oh my!
He's got the cut off arms for it. It looks so bad.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Abby the Monster Hunter here. I am in a small fishing.
I'm sorry, but Mad Angel Films.
Yeah.
I'm out at that point.
Oh, I know.
Or in.
Yeah,
or in.
Village on the shores of Lake Champlain, in a cemetery that is said to be the hunting grounds for the horrible creature.
That looks like that lady that plays in what's the Reno 911?
Oh, yeah, the blonde.
I take this pill.
Oh yeah.
No, that's who that lady reminds me
The
of.
locals are calling the graveyard shark.
So you have information about the graveyard shark?
You seem like a smart little girl. So if I were you, I'd use that.
Okay, so does the black dude live?
No.
I was gonna say he's, horror rules. I mean,
well, he's like what he's like he survives to near the end though. So
okay.
That brain of yours and get the hell about this town while your life and your limbs are still intact. Because I've seen the graveyard shark. Oh yeah. I've seen him with my own 2 eyes. He's an abomination.
We've searched this graveyard over and there's no sign of a shark.
Well, what about all the reports of shark attacks in this?
Is that the MAGA sheriff?
Yeah.
Really? Now that's just some old town folklore meant to scare the kids.
If I was you, I'd get my ass up out of here while you could.
I'm not running away. I made a promise to myself that I would not be a coward, and I couldn't live with myself if I hid from all the monsters in this world behind a bottle. So it's time for somebody to stand up and do something. Oh.
Does the shark bank somebody?
Yes.
Oh, you gotta watch it just for that.
Yeah.
The thing is, why do you even have to ask Robzilla if the shark banked somebody? Why wasn't that in his review?
Right.
of his movie.
I don't want to spoil it.
Like that should be like in the review, like the part that
Rob,
made this movie.
You can't spoil these movies. The whole point is to tell us.
Yeah.
That
Like I got to know what goes on in this movie in order for me to watch it.
shark intercourse may be the selling point of this movie.
Right.
If you don't tell people
As,
that, they
as,
won't
as
know.
you see, as the woman touches his abs,
Titties, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm down.
You're
man.
watching it.
You know, to be fair, like the graveyard shark itself looked kind of good.
Yeah.
It's really, for what it is, it's not that bad for what it looks like.
He's
if you told-
probably the best part of that movie.
Like if you told me he was a superhero who had his DNA spliced with a shark, I'd be like, okay, I'd be curious to see that.
Yeah.
Put that side by side with Suicide Squad, the
Right.
shark character in there. Pretty damn close. Pretty damn
By
close.
disguise. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's like the best part.
Oh man, you sir are continuing to outdo yourself on these Tubi picks.
I do what I can.
I would say so.
If only we could get him to make a TikTok about it or write a review.
Right.
We'd be cooking.
Let me cook, or whatever the kids say these days.
I'm gonna have to give you access to our StreamYard account so you can download the movie and or the file for the show and start clipping and editing your own Tubi picks. Oh, then I have to give you my TikTok password too. I don't know what it is.
Not many people do.
Post it on his own account.
Do you guys know like your passwords to a lot of stuff, or do you have it like saved
Oh, I
down?
have it saved. Yeah.
I'm constantly like going to my Google password manager and I'm like, what the fuck is my password for
Right.
this account?
I have like anything that's not like financially related. It's all saved. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
It's only the like the stuff that to do with money. That's
Well, that's different. Yeah.
everything else. Like I don't care. Saved.
All right. So
Steal my phone and log into my TikTok. I don't.
it's only natural since you did the Tubi pick and we're going into What You Watching segment. What have you been watching, dude, besides the Graveyard Shark?
Well, let me see here. I haven't really watched much since I've been working, but I was able to watch some
Here we
stuff.
go. I've been working. Feel sorry for me.
I don't feel sorry for me. I'm just saying, no, I haven't been able to watch as much. So,
I work from 7:30 to 4. And then I take a little break to eat din. And then
no,
I
that's
work
afterwards.
and then I work from 6 to 9.
More like 5:30, like 9. Somewhere.
Is it 5:30 at night?
I've been going in a little earlier.
You can go into work early, but you
Oh,
can't
they
make it here early.
Well, I was asleep here.
I don't want to hear that bullshit.
I'm just letting you know. I'm not bullshit. I'm just letting you know. So I finally got watched I finally watched Novocaine. I know you guys watched that. I finally got a chance to watch that.
It is
The
very
big
mid.
disappointment.
Very mid.
Very disappointed. Let's see here. Also, Graveyard Shark. I watched another documentary, Fred and Rose West, a British horror story. Pretty much wild.
Pretty much wild.
Pretty much wild.
See, I wish he would read the Tubi pick with this much enthusiasm.
It wasn't as wild as the
right.
story.
Yeah.
Yes, Graveyard Shark.
The brand new Fear Street movie, Prom Queen. Big letdown, which I didn't really expect much of that anyways, but it had a couple, funny moments.
That
in it.
movie isn't made for us.
No, it's not.
We're
but-
old. That's made for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, but well, even that. There's a couple kills that are pretty kind of gruesome.
That's what I've heard everybody say. Like it's not that great of a movie, but the kills are entertaining.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you kind of somewhat figured out who kind of is, and they're kind of like, it's your basic like typical high school slasher like Netflix style. So
How many stars did you give it, Robzilla?
I gave it 2 because some of the kills were good.
So
I laughed at a
so
couple
it's as
parts,
bad as Graveyard Shark, which you also gave 2 stars.
but I prefer Graveyard Shark over that.
Oh.
Put it that way. I was more entertained with Graveyard Shark than
There
I
was
the
there was
Prom
no there was no bestiality in Prom Queen.
That's the
Prom,
reason
so
why I
you
got
didn't
so
like it
low.
much.
That's why I got so low. And then I finally got to watch the series Bargain, which I've been wanting to watch and check out. So that's a really
Bargain?
good show. Yeah, Bargain.
What's it on?
So it's on Paramount Plus. It's a series, mini series, 6 episodes. They're like 36 to 38 minutes a piece. Check that out. So basically, a guy basically is trying to get
Find a
with
bargain?
well, he's trying to have relations with a lady of the night who's supposedly a virgin. So they're negotiating. So she leaves. but it
Liar.
turns out it's a
Liar.
organ selling ring. So basically, they lure him in there, and then after that, they knock him out, they hang him up, and then they have people come in who buy chips, and basically they auction off his organs. So basically, someone's trying to buy his spleen. They're like, "Hey, this is how much this is in it. We're going to do the first bid. We're doing the kidney." So then they start the process, and all of a sudden, there's an earthquake. the entire building gets fucked up. So he survives, and now there's people trying to get his organs because they started to buy them.
Oh, so is this the whole episode 1 that you've described?
Just the first episode.
Okay.
And then after that, it's through the building and everything. But it's crazy. I give it 3.
What did you say this was on again?
Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah. I give it a 3. It's interesting. It's very brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't care.
Your face is pretty brutal.
It's sexy. Anyways, so I didn't like the ending, how it ended. It gets a little chaotic at times too, but you can see the theme. There's always like some kind of bargaining, and then you don't even root for the person who having their organs sold because he's a piece of shit detective, and it's just like you rather see him die, and you just don't like anybody. So, which is kind of a surprise. I didn't like him as much.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, motherfucker! Surprise.
Can you imagine like Robzilla getting his organs harvested? And like the people are like, I want $1,000 for this organ, that organ. And then like a week later, it's like, I want my money back. Those organs were shit.
Yeah, basically.
Well, then the people will call like, I have diabetes all of a sudden. Like, what's going on here?
Well, there is a part where they're like, well, how old is he? And then she goes to check his wallet because I guess like there's specific,
Yeah.
I wanted good organs. I didn't want these short arms.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's got a fucked up part. I didn't want that. So, yeah, but then they find out she's like, fuck, he's a detective. He's a cop. He's like some kind of like desk cop, basically. So like nothing important.
Okay.
He's a pencil pusher. So, but he makes his like, I've been undercover and this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you're a fucking liar. No, you're not.
All right.
So it's good. Definitely check it out. And then I watched Mickey 17.
Obviously.
So
we all watched Mickey 17.
So I know you wasn't care. I liked it.
It's okay. I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it could have been a lot better.
I liked it for what it was. There's some stuff I couldn't stop laughing. Mark Ruffalo's character and Toni Collette. Yeah.
God, Toni Collette's so sexy.
Yeah.
That's a woman right there. That's all I'm going to say.
I have a brand new sauce. Would you like to try? No, bitch.
Yeah.
This is gross.
Yep.
But I think it kind of threw me off too with Robert Pattinson's voice, how he sounds.
Guy's a good actor.
He really is.
I've had enough Robert Pattinson
Yeah.
for a couple weeks though. I can
Yeah,
tell you
I think
that.
good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good on that. But I liked what it was. Mark Ruffalo's character, he's basically Trump / Elon.
Yeah.
Had a love baby, basically what he is.
Yeah.
Are you stupid? And he asks the question, like, man, and it makes these people so fucking stupid too. Like they have all this technology, but they're just stupid as shit.
Well, I mean, basically, Mickey 17, they're taking a journey to another planet, and instead of having like robots do certain tasks and stuff like that, they have expendable people. And
Cloning.
when they die, they just clone a new one, and they already have their memories. And
well, it's so funny. It says print, but it looks like it's like an old school printer where they're like, it goes, doo, doo, doo. So I thought
I did crack up when people were like in the other room, like hanging out, talking, and
he's
they're just printing out of the machine.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like I don't think it's just I found the humor in it.
Yeah,
but I liked what it was. I liked it better in Parasite, but
oh yeah, it's way better than Parasite.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it's way better, but
I liked it better.
It's worth watching. I'll say that.
Yeah, I definitely check it out. I mean, it's streaming on HBO Max, so check it out.
Yeah, that was a PBS recommendation.
Well,
he said. Well, he just said Mickey 17's on.
Yeah, you were
yeah.
It's on there.
I was curious. Yeah.
And then Rob put it homework. Mickey 17.
Why not?
You watch anything else?
No, that was it.
I was gonna say you're running out of time. You can't watch anything else. PBS.
Make room for Tubi though.
There's always room for Tubi in Zilla's house.
Yeah, exactly. Always.
Oh, while we were talking about Robzilla's Tubi pick, I looked up the director, and he's got like 16 movies. Name's Matthew A. Peters. And he's got one from 2016 called Slade Collins, In and Out of Time. Slade Collins must travel back in time to save the woman he loves and put a stop to an evil Nazi plan to conquer the world.
Now that sounds good.
Yes.
This is the Graveyard Shark guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to look that up more.
Like he's going to go find this guy's catalog on Tubi now.
I want to sound like what Leonardo DiCaprio from
Yeah.
Thing. Now you got my attention.
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention, sir. Okay, so All right, we're waiting on you, sir.
Oh,
here comes the list.
So I actually forgot to mention this last week. I was going to add my own Tubi pick.
Oh shit!
Because when I was talking about the concert I went to, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, there's a documentary on Tubi called "Mutiny in Heaven: The Birthday Party," which is a documentary about his band prior to that called "The Birthday Party." And it was interesting. Not like a great documentary or anything. It's one of those ones that you definitely kind of only watch if you have an interest in the subject, as opposed to sometimes there's just a good documentary that even if you're not interested in it, you can like, oh yeah, that's good. But it was all right. The biggest thing I kind of got into is I don't remember what I was doing on Amazon. I think I was picking up Tommy Boy came out on 4K like last month. And while I was looking it up, I saw that like a bunch of like Disney movies were kind of pretty cheap on Blu-ray and 4K. And I picked up a handful of them. So I picked up and I've watched Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Little Mermaid. And maybe I could put on here the 101 Dalmatians.
Classic.
These are movies I haven't seen in like at least 20 years.
Yeah.
And so I kind of picked them all up. And spoiler alert, they're all pretty great, I think. Certainly those four are.
Classic Disney's good. I don't think you can go wrong with it.
That's like prime hour Disney.
Yeah.
Like I saw obviously not 101 Dalmatians because they came out in like the 60s. But Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. I don't know about Little Mermaid. I'm pretty sure I saw it when it came out, but that was 88, 89. So I only would have been like 4. So, but it's one of those ones they might have re-released it.
I remember going to the mall and getting Little Mermaid on VHS with my mom.
Yeah.
And going home and watching it that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I definitely remember watching Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. Seeing them in theaters. My babysitter back in the day, like she said, that was like her VHS rack, had those old clamshell ones that you had to open up.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
I got tons of those at my mom's house.
Memories.
I love those things back in the day. Also checked out Mickey 17. Didn't love it. Not great, not bad. I just like, okay, kind of interesting. It's based on a book, and I'd be curious to know if the book did a little more with the concept. Like I get what it's saying, but I don't know.
I just wanted more out of it.
Yeah, I felt like there wasn't a lot of meat on the bone. Like,
yeah,
like I get what you're saying, but can you say a little more or something?
Yeah. Yep.
I finally got around to watching Hard Eyes, which I was really into. I gave it 3.5. I told Robzilla today when we were talking about it, I wish the humor was like 5% less cheesy. But other than that, it's like kind of like an old school slasher movie. It doesn't wink at you too much, which I think is what a lot of horror movies do anymore. They're kind of like, see what we're doing, see what we're referencing. And this one really was just kind of like, yeah, it's a slasher movie.
I think that's what it knew what it was.
Right.
Not to take itself seriously like Novocaine, which had
and
no
it's
clue.
and it's just well done. The kills are cool. It's not trying to like be meta, really, and it's just a slasher movie.
Yeah,
like they used to make.
And it's a fun slasher.
And of course, we'll talk about here shortly. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been checking out. I've been watching my old school wrestling on the WCW and the WWE channel on YouTube, where they're uploading the full old school pay-per-views and VHSs just to get my nightly fix in.
Nice, dude.
And that's kind of it for me. I've been working a lot the last week, so not watching too much outside of that.
All right.
How about you, Sleazy?
Trying to find me a good old school detective show or something to watch.
I told you that one I just told you I found on Netflix, Department Q. That looks good.
So I watched my nightly thing. I don't get home until 9 on some days because of baseball. But as soon as I get home, it's usually 8:39. So, but if I have a late dinner, I'll watch that. I'll watch X-Files. I think I talked about this last time but X-Files is just dominating my life right now. And I just forgot how good of a show that is. Like, I'm on season 3 now, and season 3 is like banger after banger after banger.
Season 3 is where it really hits. Like when you think of The X-Files. You're really talking like seasons 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. And like we said last time, the movie is in between 5 and 6, I want to say. But man, it just picks up, and it's like it really hits its stride right around season 3. And like, man, these seasons, they're all like 25 episodes or whatever. Like, television
Used to be television.
was brutal back in the day. Now these people are bitching that they have to make 13 episodes, and they're like, we have to have filler episodes. Like,
No, you don't.
they did a pretty good job writing all these episodes back in the day. Like, why can't these people write good, shorter episodes if that's the case?
If you, when I go through and rewatch seasons, like maybe there's 2 or 3 episodes per season, I'm kind of like, yeah, I can skip those. But for the most part, they're all either central to the story or they're just kind of fun, good episodes to watch. There's only a couple that I'm like, they could have lost that one.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are good. There are some ones that are total fillers episodes, and you're like, "No, this is phone time, whatever."
Like, this one doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. But man, there's just something about that show. It's so good. It's just fun to turn the lights out and watch it at night and get a little creeped out and see Mulder,
iconic like
Mulder
intro
and
sound.
Mulder and Scully just deny that they want to fuck each other. It's like, just fuck already. Come on.
You feel the tension.
Yeah.
I love how good the show looks, by the way. I've got it on Blu-ray, those first 6 or 7 seasons. And when they first came out, when the show first aired, it was obviously on our Square TV back in the day. And then now that the Blu-rays come out, it's in the widescreen ratio.
Yeah.
And it's not, they didn't zoom in. They literally they were shot that way, where Chris Carter said they were filmed widescreen and they were matted to the square screen back then. But when he filmed them, they were made so there's not like crew or microphones just off to the side. So these are actually the way they were shot, 30 years ago. Unlike, say, Star Trek Next Generation, it got a good restoration, but it was only ever meant to be seen in 1331. So,
because some of those you watch on Netflix and they're like square,
like if you watch like Seinfeld on Netflix, they zoom in to make it widescreen, even though it's not meant to be widescreen.
Right.
So X-Files not only is a good show, but it looks great for its age. It looks like it could have been shot recently.
It's such a great show, man. Like that finale to the second season where they go into, it's a prison, right? And there's like an outbreak of some kind of disease or something. Like, that's fire right there, dude.
I love the ending of that, where they're on the bus or whatever.
Yeah, it's good. And like Scully she goes somewhere and she goes to a metal detector and it goes off, and the guy's like, well, you got something in you? And he waves the wand on her neck and it goes off. And she goes and sees another FBI doctor, and they pull this microchip out of her neck. And you're like, oh, this is fucking great. This is great shit right here.
I have to watch it.
And Mulder just gets close enough to see, like, he's so close to seeing the aliens and stuff. Like, Scully's seen them, but she's just like, she's in total denial because, she's a skeptic.
Right.
But it's just such a great rapport with the two of them.
Right.
It just fucking works, dude.
Well, it's just like, I'll have to watch it just because I've seen the episodes. I haven't watched like consistent seasons, but I loved it for what it was, because oh,
you would dig it, dude.
I digged it before, but
it's good. But like the same thing, like Scully's seeing aliens and it's still like, oh, I don't believe that.
Right.
It's
That's
like, bitch, what do you need to see?
Mulder like throws down all the evidence. She's like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Like, if I was Mulder, I'd just smack her.
I know.
Like, wake the fuck up, bitch.
Wake the fuck up.
So then I saw, as far as movies go, I saw Final Destination Bloodlines.
How was that? That was good.
It was good. It was good. I gave it 3.5 stars. So
was it Tony Todd's last film?
Yeah, it was a nice send off for him. I think we talked about this on the last show.
Yeah,
but I can't remember like what day that was we record. Was it the 17th or something like that?
Yeah, it was I know it was Sunday.
Then obviously Hard Eyes, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and then Mickey 17 were pretty much. Oh, and I made a deal with my friend Alicia because she hasn't seen any movies, and I'm like, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. So she watched one last week, and she was talking to me about it. She was like, all right, now you gotta watch a movie for me. And I'm like, oh shit. She was like, you gotta watch Twilight. And I was like, well, I've seen the first one, but I'll rewatch it and then I'll watch the second one. So I rewatched it. And my God, that there is some cheesy dialogue in those movies.
I used to back whatever channel was on HBO or Showtime when they'd have the free preview weekend, they'd have one of those Twilight movies. I'd watch them just to be like, this is funny.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like laughable moments here and there. Like they're average movies. Don't get me wrong. It's quality production.
The whole idea is just kind of silly.
Yeah. And like I sat and I thought about it after I watched the first two, and I was like, there's a really good story in here. Like if they actually did it and cut the cheesy dialogue bullshit out, which I know that's what women love, and they love this little in between love story that's going on and all that. But like if they really approached it with a more horror-esque actiony type thing with the and you can still put the love interest and love stories in there and it'll work, but there could be a really awesome movie in there. And I know like if there is any women left that listen to this, they're probably rolling around screaming right now like he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I'm telling you, they could have done something good with that if they would have made it more adult themed, I think.
Now here's the question: are you Team Jacob or Team Edward?
On Team Jacob all the way.
Of course.
Bella is such a cunt, dude.
She is.
Like really,
she's
a really a fucking cunt, dude. Yeah. Like Edward runs away, and he bounces, and he pretty much tells her that I can't deal with you anymore. I got to get away from you. And Jacob's the one left picking up the pieces, doing all the hard work. Like she brings over 2 motocross bikes. She's like, fix this shit up for me. Like she just expects him to fix it up, and he fixes it up. And of course she wrecks herself on one. But then, he turns into a werewolf or something in the second one, obviously. And he can't be around her because he's afraid of hurting her or whatever. But it's just total bitch, dude. As soon as Edward comes back, she fucking bails on Jacob. And I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, this is insane.
That's typical fuck boy, fuck girl relationship.
Yeah, the stupid bitch is just running off at the first second she gets a chance to. Like, do you not remember this guy just high and dry left you?
He sparkles.
Yeah, that's another thing that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like why do they sparkle? Like, what's the point?
There's a couple like I've seen like the in fight scenes. They're fucking hilarious. So they just rip their heads off. I'm like, stuff like that's like super cool. But
I mean, I'll give it to them. They're geniuses. I've heard like Alicia was telling me that the books are much more better, and Bella isn't such a bitch in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, she's a fucking bitch in these movies from what I've seen. But I'm just kind of like I want to watch them all just to say I watched them all.
Yeah.
But they are like, there are some times when they say shit and you just have no choice but to laugh.
Yeah, you're
like the dialogue is so cheesy. Or I forget, like there's one part where Edward's like, I would die without you or something like that. And I'm just like, really?
Like, bro, you've been around like 200 years. You're fine.
Right. And does anybody else find this a little creepy that this 200-year-old creature wants to fuck a 17-year-old?
Yes.
Like the whole thing is just gives me as the young kids say now, the ick. The ick. Yeah, it's very icky.
Yeah. But they don't think of it that way.
As Aaliyah once said, age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
Yeah. And she says to R. Kelly.
But yeah, that's what I've been up to. And I watched the finales to The Studio with Seth Rogen.
How was that?
It's a great show. One of the best shows out right now. Like
Apple TV? Right?
Yeah, Apple TV Plus. You got to watch it, man. If you're a Seth Rogen fan and like all the people, Dave Franco has a cameo in it when they're at this party and everybody's fucking high because he has this. They're doing like a presentation because the whole thing is they're making this Kool-Aid live action movie.
Oh my God.
And they have to do a presentation or the studio, it has to go off well, or the studio is going to get sold to Amazon.
Okay.
And Seth Rogen wants to do like an old school Hollywood party the night before. And he buys all these mushroom chocolates. And Bryan Cranston's like, he's not the head of the studio, but
like
maybe
he's the
CEO of the studio. Seth Rogen's the head, obviously, but he eats like a whole fucking bowl of that shit, and he's like going all over Vegas crazy. And Dave Franco's like, he figures it out. He's like, oh shit, this is on. And he's high as fuck, and he's in the casino fucking with people. Like, like they could do a spinoff show with Dave Franco, and I would love it. But that shit was great. And then obviously I caught the Last of Us finale, which,
of course, how'd you feel about it?
It's been pretty true to the game. So I like, man, I get why people maybe don't like this season, but they're just like flat out done with it. And it's like, it's just still good cinema.
They're blowing out of the water proportion with something.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this season had one of the best episodes in all of television, I think.
I mean, it's
not the best, but one of the best.
I mean, it's up there with Game of Thrones.
Yes, absolutely.
Hands down.
And, like I saw an article the other day where it was like, creators of The Last of Us said that this season would have more zombies in it. And that was a lie.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it wasn't a lie. Did you watch the one episode where there was thousands of them?
Yeah. They're probably thinking like through the entire season.
No. And I mean, the flashback episode with Pedro Pascal, with Joel and Ellie,
I thought it was great.
That's some of the best acting I think that we've seen this year anyways. Yeah. But I mean, Pedro Pascal
give that man an award.
Yeah. I mean, a full display of his talents was just put on there. But I've really enjoyed it, and it's been true to the game. I mean, I don't know what else you could complain about. And I think a lot of this stems from people just not wanting to see gay romance and stuff like that, which, listen, it's not my thing. I don't really care for it, but I mean, it is what it is. If the show's good, I don't care who loves each other in the show.
I think the only gripe I've had, I felt like it's only 7 episodes. I feel like it could have been at least 9. I feel like they could extend. That's my only gripe. I feel like they could have really extended.
I'm not.
That's the only thing.
I'm not too much of a fan of this like 6 to 7 episode, arc or whatever. That like I want a solid 10 to 13 episodes.
Well, I feel like there's more story they could have told. So that's the reason why it's kind of like they could even went to 10. Honestly.
Yeah,
so that's my only gripe.
It does seem like you don't get to see a lot of the other characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're not really emotionally tied to them like you are in the game. As far as what's her face's ex-boyfriend that knocks her up.
Jesse.
Yeah. So I mean, like when that whole scene happens in the finale, they're right at the end.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, big deal. I don't really care about this guy.
No. You care about him more in the game.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot more stuff in the game, obviously. So, I mean, that would be my complaint, is that there's just not enough, how do I say this? They just don't build up enough of the sub characters.
Yeah.
So, and I would like to see more of that in the future. Like, at least give me an episode. Like, that was great about The Walking Dead. Like, yeah, they were filler episodes, but you got to be invested in the other characters along with the main characters.
And when they got killed off, it was more devastating.
Yeah, yeah.
like
I don't give a shit about that Jesse dude.
No.
I mean, as a fan of the game, I do. But I mean, and that's another thing, these people that are so fragile of being a man and stuff like that, they're so off taking that this is a story about women enduring hardships, like, yeah, in the game, Joel was the star of the first one, but it shifts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
big deal.
Just is what it is.
Yeah. And I still, even with me, like, I wouldn't care he died, but I just felt like he could have died a little bit later. That's all it was. And that's it.
Yeah. And they just did it backwards.
Yeah.
Instead of giving us the flashbacks at the beginning and the kill at the end, they ripped the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, is this season as good as the last season? I don't know. It's probably about the same.
Yeah.
It definitely had a lot more moments than the first season, I think.
Well, I think even the one episode in season 2 almost puts it over a little bit in the first season, just because of that.
I think next year when we get to see, because season 3 is going to be all about Abby, supposedly.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be really,
and
really
I thought that Abby had the better storyline in that second game. So,
and I felt like that could have been 2 separate completely games that you could have done.
Oh yeah,
one fully Ellie and then one fully
Well, wasn't it 2 discs? So I mean, it was 2 games essentially.
Yeah, essentially. But I mean, you can spend like the amount of time you spend on each character, you could have spent on one.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't have too many negative things to say about it. Is it my top show of the year? Probably not, but it was good. Still good.
I mean, when you look forward to seeing it every week, it's a good show.
Yeah. And Sunday night was all about Last of Us.
Righteous Gemstones.
Yep. So I mean, I've got, you know, my complaints are very minimal.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd like to see some other things happen with it, but listen, they've delivered as much as they can.
I mean, you can't say how it does not look straight from the game on the settings and that atmosphere.
And that's another thing. The sets are all beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the way they're able to bring you into that abandoned world. Like that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they do it. Like if they're building the sets or if it's green screen, I don't know. But
mixture of both. Probably.
It's still that's what I would think. But it's still a good show, and I'm enjoying it. So.
Well, there's a shot in it too where you see the crane. I'm like, oh, that gives me anxiety.
Yeah, where they have to cross the crane to the other skyscraper.
Yeah, I thought that was Ellie's, but I was like, no, that's Abby's.
Yeah,
she's with a certain character.
I hope they show us that next year, them crossing the crane.
Yeah,
because Abby runs around with like the transsexual kid from the
Scars or Seraphites or whatever,
and that's a much better storyline. I think
it is,
but
it's way more intriguing.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're ready to talk Mission Impossible. Are you ready?
He's ready.
You ready? Okay, so it's our final segment. Take a deep breath. Exhale. We're there.
The Sleazy Podcast, the final segment.
Yes.
Part 2.
So, Mission Impossible, the final reckoning. I mean, I gotta say, it's kind of sad to see the Mission Impossible franchise come to an end. At least the Tom Cruise. Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
it doesn't really finish.
I think Tom is kind of done.
I think he personally has a lot of things he wants to do.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that before we hit the record button. But I mean, this guy, he's got plans to do sequels to older movies that he's done, and he wants to do, sequels to sequels. I mean, the guy's just got plans. He's going to space to film a movie. Does he got time to do another Mission Impossible movie? I don't think he does.
And that's the thing to think about is like these two movies have taken like the last 5 years. Yeah. Obviously, COVID was a big factor in that. Mm-hmm. But he's been working on part 1 and part 2 since like 2019 or something, 2020. So it's even I was listening to another podcast talking about it today, and they talked about spoiler alert, Rebecca Ferguson dies in part 1. But even she said, like, I want to be killed off. Like, I can't be spending years making these movies, being on call, like, hey, we've got this scene ready for you. Come film it now, and blah, blah, blah. So, I think whether Mission Impossible is done, maybe not, but I think he is done.
Yeah.
Being the central figure.
It wouldn't surprise me if they do like a spinoff and maybe bring Henry Cavill's still alive, his character, right?
No, he died, didn't he?
Did he die?
I think he dies in the
okay.
Well, Jeremy Renner, too. I mean, they've got to do something with him with the story, maybe.
Because Alec Baldwin dies.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner's still alive.
Yeah,
he gets arrested or something like that, doesn't he?
I think so.
For helping them.
Yeah, but he's not dead.
That's the thing. I can't remember so many of them now.
I need to revisit.
I watched the first and the second, and like even me, like there's a lot of negativity around the second one, and I watched it again the other night, and I was like,
it's by John Woo.
It's John Woo, and there's his signature shit is all throughout it. But it's not bad. It's still Mission Impossible.
I think you have to understand the way John Woo directs, and
I think the long hair and stuff threw people off. And
like the fight scenes.
Limp Bizkit did the Mission Impossible song. Come on now, can't all be bad.
I know.
But I mean that motorcycle scene at the end, the finale, that was great shit. But I think Tom is done. He can't keep doing these stunts.
No.
He's too old. And as well as I know, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
Father Time is probably taking its toll on Tom.
And I said that during Dead Reckoning. Like Dead Reckoning was the first time he started to show his age.
Yeah. You can see it in his face now.
Yeah.
But the movie is getting ready to start, and then the Tom pretending like he's eating popcorn comes on, and he's like, "Thank you, we made this just for you." Like, you made it for you, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you. I do enjoy your commitment to the cinema and getting people back in the theater.
That's something you do really, really respect with Tom Cruise, at least.
And he is right. Like these movies are meant to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah.
IMAX all the way. You got to hear it in the stereo format that it's made to be heard, the aspect ratio that it's made to be seen in. But man, they just have this shit down to a fine science. Him and the guy that directed this,
Christopher McQuarrie.
yeah, like they literally elevated the Mission Impossible franchise, and dare I say, it's like the staple action series that we have today. But I mean, the stunts are just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a scene where they're on these like what are the Wright brothers?
Oh, the biplanes.
Yeah, they're on some Wright brothers planes, and like there is a scene where Tom flips over into the cockpit, and you're like, holy shit, because you know that motherfucker did that without a wire.
Yeah,
you know he did it without a wire. He's that fucking crazy. But like I was blown away by that stunt, and again, like how many more movies can he make while he's running at full speed?
Or before he dies on film.
There was a couple. There was oh shoot, what was it now? There's one where he runs to another character, and I don't know his location in the movie. He's in London,
right?
Like how far did he run?
He's running. In my mind, he's running for like a good half hour to get to this location.
From like one side of London to the other. Or something like that. He's not running a block or two. He's running like miles, and it's full speed the whole time. And then there's one. He actually runs toward the end. He runs toward the plane because he's trying to catch up with the guy. Like
there's no way he catches that plane in real life, right?
Like, no way.
Tom Cruise. Maybe, I don't know.
Does he have dress shoes on? Because I know usually runs with he's got suits on and shit.
I can't remember.
Well, in the first scene, he's in a dress outfit, and later in the movie, he's in his outdoors clothes.
Oh, okay,
so.
Yeah,
okay.
But like even like some of the things were for this one were just way outlandishly crazy. Like,
hey, go big or go home for the finale.
So we know from the last one that there's a submarine with nukes.
Yeah.
Out the ass at the bottom of the ocean, and they do something where they find it, obviously. And I love the callbacks to all the other old Mission Impossibles. Like they made sure to honor like every Mission Impossible movie in this one.
It's a good thing and it's a bad thing about this movie because they do it too much.
Yeah.
There are one thing I don't like about the movie, and I don't like it quite as much as you do, is there's so many retcons and flashbacks.
See, I liked all that stuff.
Some of them were okay, but
they could have chilled a couple of them out.
So many, but there's literally like they flash back to a character, and then the next scene they flash back to that character again, and it's the same flashback.
Yeah.
You're like, I understand, like, and quite a bit of this has to do with the first, second, and third Mission Impossible, which are almost. I mean, the first one's going to be 30 next year, so you can understand. Like, we need to maybe do a couple of flashbacks or something, but they really overdo it at certain points, and it hurts the movie. But I understand you need to give some of those callbacks to a little bit of context.
Yeah. So anyways, they go down into this submarine, and it's a whole thing. Like he meets up with this secret submarine that they have, and they have these pressurized suits and stuff like that. And there's a scene where they had to show off Tom Cruise in his underwear and his back, and the dude looks like he's an MMA fighter. Like you see muscles popping out, muscles on his back, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Running on the treadmill.
Yeah. He's always got to show off that running, you know. But like he goes to the bottom of the ocean, no worries about pressure, obviously, because he's got the suit. But then there's a point where the submarine's like tilting because it's on like the edge of a
shelf or whatever.
Yeah, and these nukes, all these nukes, they're just rolling around, bouncing off of each other, and I'm like, in what reality would the Russians leave a submarine with all of these nukes at the bottom of the ocean?
Well, they don't know where it's at.
Bullshit. They'd find it. They'd fucking find that.
Trying to do.
Yeah.
Until they get stopped.
I just don't feel like they would have let it sit down there all those years, you know? But I mean, that was probably like my big complaint about the movie. But it is what it is. You know, they got to get us something excited, you know, get us something excited about. But I mean, I dug it. I like the part one a little bit better than this one, but I still had fun. And I appreciated where they were going, trying to give us closure to the series and, not piss the fans off so much, I guess you could say. But, man, they are just masters at their craft, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can say. When I watch this movie, I'm like, these guys are fucking artists. Like, what they do, like, it's hard to make a movie to begin with. It's hard to make a big budget action movie. It's hard to keep making them over and over and over and over again the way Tom Cruise has done.
He's a franchise. So.
I mean, like, I think Tom Cruise is full of shit. I'll tell everybody that. I think he's fucking crazy, but the man knows how to make fucking
loves movies.
Yeah.
Man loves movies. He's got a respect for cinema, and he can make fucking movies.
Right.
I saw a TikTok of like Tom Cruise getting interviewed on like a red carpet kind of thing. And the interviewer must have been like just some sort of like a TikToker kind of person or whatever. And the guy was asking like, well, what's next for the Mission Impossible franchise? Ethan Hunt can always go to space or something like that. And like Tom Cruise does the thing where he grabs the guy's arm and he's kind of like, well, don't spoil anything. You could tell Tom Cruise like, don't you spoil my fucking movie.
Yeah.
I will fucking kill you here right now.
Like I said, I didn't like it as much as you did. I didn't love part 1 either.
Oh, dude, that train part in part 1, I fucking love.
Yeah.
Pretty much every problem I have with part 1 is worse in part 2 for me.
So I think one of the reasons why I do like this so much is like Haley Atwell.
She's
good.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
I mean,
he's like,
she's gorgeous, but she's a good actress too, or actor. I don't know what she goes by or whatever. I think everybody says actor now, but man, they do a good job of hiding her boobs because that woman is stacked like you wouldn't believe, and you don't notice her boobs through the whole movie. They got those bad boys pinned down.
Can't take away no time away from Tom.
Right. Can't have anybody take the spotlight off of it.
You talked about the 2 scenes, the planes and the submarine. I actually think I prefer the submarine scenes better. Like the
submarine was much more anxiety induced.
Right? Like the plane, it's obviously cool and it's a great stunt, but I almost felt like it was almost too much. That's maybe kind of how I feel about a lot of movies. It's almost too much. Like it borders on being ridiculous instead of like thrilling. Kind of like, wow, now it's just kind of like, I don't know about this.
Like Fast and Furious, kind of like over the top.
Yeah,
like
exactly. It's kind of like it's almost at the point where you don't believe it.
Right.
Whereas, like when he's doing the climbing on the side of the Burj Khalifa or whatever in Dubai, like you can believe that it's crazy, but you believe it. And the biplane stuff, it's just close to being like, I don't know about that.
But he fucking did it.
But he did it, and it's great.
So here was my review of it. I put Ethan Hunt. Here, we'll put it up on screen for those that want to see it on Letterboxd. But Ethan Hunt, the chosen one. Tom Cruise, what an artist. The film is a little slow in parts, but overall it delivers. Go see it in theaters. A movie like this is just so much better on the big screen. So, I mean, I give it 4 stars. Would you give it?
I wanted to write a longer Letterboxd review, but basically my review right now just says I gave it 3.5 stars, but it was on its way to becoming a 3-star movie.
Oh,
just like, and my review for part 1 was it was a 3.5-star movie trying to be a 4-star movie.
And I think had this not been the last one, I'd have been a little bit more critical of certain things. But with it being the last one, and then like I feel like this is bonus movie for us,
such as the flashbacks and montages.
Yeah, so I mean, some shit just didn't bother me. I will say this: why is it that is Ethan Hunt Jesus?
He is.
That's one of my problems.
This is one of my big problems with Mission Impossible. Period. Ethan Hunt does all this crazy shit, and even at the end, spoiler alert here, Rob. He parachutes or whatever, and he's like, he uses the emergency parachute, right?
They don't show you, but
you see it,
yeah,
because he has to break the one,
yeah,
and he's booking it through the air. Like, I mean, he pulls that chute pretty fucking late,
right?
And he gets up and he's fucking walking through the forest or whatever, and it's like, can this guy not get hurt? Like, does he have Cap super serum soldier?
He does.
Like, what
part of the whole movie, like everybody is telling him, like, Ethan Hunt, you're the only one that can save us.
Yeah.
Every decision you've ever made in your life has been the right decision. And it's really like kind of grated on me. It's maybe the problem I had with Maverick.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of Maverick is they call him in like, you're going to teach these people to do this route that's nearly impossible. And then at the end of the movie, he's the one who does the route.
Yeah.
He has to be like the hero who does it. And that's the same with this one. It has to be like, you're right about everything, Ethan. You've never made a bad decision or anything.
It's like almost like a God complex.
And it kind of goes back to like Tom Cruise got all this praise as being like, you're the savior of movies post COVID.
I feel like a lot of his thoughts translate into this movie.
And it's even like, is it his? Is it the people around him? Are they like, because they obviously they've worked on with him on all these movies. They kind of love him.
Yeah.
So has it gone to his head? Has it gone to their heads? It's just too much. It's one of those too much things for me. That's kind of like, I don't know if this is bordering on like this real world ego versus the movie where it hurts the movie for me.
Yeah. I don't see any, oh man. Real Takes gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, he didn't.
He shit on it, dude.
He's the one. He actually he did a TikTok about like 10 things he didn't like about it, and part of it is he said, "I'm glad because he specifically used the word savior, which is the word I was thinking of."
Yeah,
too. And I'm glad he used that.
Perhaps the most disappointed I've been in a project since I started reviewing movies. Final Reckoning will try to grab your attention and convince you of the overall quality with 2 bombastic and memorable scenes. But when you look behind that, there's very little to enjoy. The more I think about it, the more this almost feels like a parody of itself. It almost seems embarrassed to be what it is, as it pushes into Fast and Furious style absurdity. I don't know about that.
I think it's getting there.
Yeah, I think they definitely went all out, but he's not driving a Camaro down the Grand Canyon as it's blowing up or whatever. In one-upmanship. As a massive fan of the franchise, I think there are only 2 weak films among the 8, and this is one of them. Mission Impossible thrives while it's not only having fun, but telling fairly dark and personal stories. Oh, dude, I'm not right. Jesus Christ, dude.
He did a whole couple TikToks about it.
Yeah. Listen, I get what he's saying there, but like I said, like I'm not as critical of it because it's the last one, and I kind of figured that they were going to go all out, and obviously a couple people might have been iced or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not the first time somebody's died in Mission Impossible, but it is what it is.
Let me run through just a few last things. I might get a little spoiler here, so if you want to duck out, feel free to duck out. And we'll but not that there's anything like it's not like I see dead people or anything. There's nothing kind of that spoiler.
Right.
But so let's see. Like I said, I didn't feel like the oohs and ahs. Like when I watch a Mission Impossible, I wanted it to be kind of like thrilling, and I didn't feel that as much in here. Like I said, maybe it was me. I don't know. Like I said, Ethan Hunt, the savior, too much going on. The structure was really bad, like especially the first part, because it felt like they were just tacking a bunch of stuff on that maybe should have been part of the first movie. I feel like the whole entity thing should have been like maybe just 3 movies or something, because it's clear that there's something they're trying to say, but they don't quite have all the pieces, or they didn't want to make both movies. Like this one's almost 3 hours. The other one was like 2.5.
I like the whole AI angle. Like I thought it was cool, but it's just so weird with it being spaced out into 2 movies for some reason.
And I don't think they don't do the entity great. I love the idea of the entity as the villain, but I don't know if they quite pull it off.
I liked how they tied it into the 3rd movie though. Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's one that like if they hadn't have done so much of that, that would have been cooler. Like I said, too many flashbacks and little stuff. This one's more spoiler, but like Luther, he doesn't make it too long into the movie. Ving Rhames has health problems in real life, and I think that kind of added to it. So that kind of
I noticed he looked a little rough in the movie.
Yeah, and I think that really threw a wrench. Like I said, real life stuff I think has affected these last 2 movies a lot. Not enough Mission Impossible theme. I didn't hear the theme in there enough.
How do you not have?
I was going to say that one would stick with you right there.
Like obviously they do the whole like light the fuse thing, and they do that during the movie, but they don't really play the theme too much outside of that.
I did. without, how should I say this? I like that they didn't do the Bond finale.
Right.
For like, because I'm still not over that Bond movie. This, I'm happy, you know, it is what it is.
I already told Rob, like, I don't think this is too spoiler, but because like the last couple of Mission Impossible movies have ended, they all kind of meet up at the end, they do the nod and they walk away.
Yeah.
And like, it's not terrible, but it's not like final, you know, like I was told this would be the final reckoning.
Or this would be like the end of like Ethan the story, you know,
there's not quite enough of a point on it. And there's a bunch of weird stuff in there. Like, I'm still not sure exactly what the entity was trying to do. I think it's kind of silly how they capture him in a way.
It was trying to blow the world up.
Yeah.
And get rid of all the humans.
But we're also going to blow the world up to stop it because the entity is trying to get a hold of the nukes. Every country that has nukes is trying to hack its way in.
Oh, Skynet?
Yeah.
So there's two movie references in here that I like. So one's called Failsafe. And in Failsafe, I forget exactly what happens. It's been a while since I've seen it, but basically America fires its nukes at Russia. And as like a my bad, we agree to nuke one of our own cities. So Russia doesn't fire its nukes, thinking we did it on purpose. So like as like the compromise, like we'll nuke one of our own cities. That plays in toward the ending of this one. And there's a submarine scene where Tom Cruise has to go get on the USS Ohio. And it's straight out of Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
They've got to find the submarine. The submarine's got to come up. They got to take the helicopter out. The helicopter runs out of gas. Like somebody saw Hunt for Red October, like, yep, put that right in the movie. And honestly, that's him getting on the sub and then getting on the Russian sub is one of my favorite sections of the movie.
The commander of the sub.
Yes, he's one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's in
Severance.
He's Mr. Milchek.
Yeah.
But he was good, dude. Like that whole line when he was like, "You want to poke the bear?
Yeah.
You came to the right guy."
Yeah, that's Trammell Tillman is Captain Jack Bledsoe. He's one of that's actually kind of like when the movie finally starts kind of chugging along for me.
Yeah.
It gets better as it goes. That really choppy first act. But once you get on the submarine and everything starts chugging along, it's a lot better. So Trammell Tillman, he's one of my highlights. Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding shows up as Kodiak, who's a diver on the sub.
I wanted more of her.
Yeah, she was good. When she first shows up, I'm like, oh shit, is that Katie O'Brien?
And she
you know Katie O'Brien when you see Katie O'Brien.
Yeah.
Like what other bitch looks, you know, that sexy and muscular,
Right.
you know? You're like, love her.
Muscle mommy.
And then
muscle mommy.
Yeah.
Rolf Saxon is William Donlow from the first Mission Impossible. He's the one that Tom Cruise basically screws over so he can get inside.
I love that they
Langley.
brought him back and they showed you what happened to him after all that.
And again, they do too much of the callbacks, but he's like one of the best ones.
Yes.
And he's actually in it as a character with stuff to do. And his wife, whose real name is Lucy, I'm going to butcher it, Tulu Garjuk, plays his wife Tapisa. And they're like some
so
of
that's his wife in real life?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's just his wife in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And I love their characters.
Yeah, they were good.
They're like one of the highlights of the movie for me. I wish they'd have done a few or less callbacks and had them.
The whole part with the Alaskan Huskies and like the sleds, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, that was she was funny. She didn't
look at you.
it.
Your eyes are lighting up talking about this movie now.
They were literally like my favorite characters in the movie was Don Lowe and his wife Tapisa and the people on the submarine. Like I almost felt a little let down by the regular cast. They were doing their normal thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but like those characters really kind of made the movie for me. They're like my highlights of the movie.
A lot of times sub characters really just push the movie over than like the main characters.
I feel like they could have started the movie out with just the bomb scene, you know, where he's running for what's his face or whatever. Like they could have cut like a good 40 minutes out of this.
Well, other people have pointed this out. They explain some of the same things 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Like for me, there's a scene where Angela Bassett plays the president.
She was good, wasn't she?
She was good too.
Yeah.
She didn't have a lot of big stuff.
But she made an
was good.
impact when she was on screen.
Yeah, she was on it. She was good. And they bring Ethan to her in handcuffs. And Ethan says, I need you to let me go so I can do that. That could have been like the first scene of the movie. So,
who was the general? Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman was good too.
Yep.
He didn't really play a great general, but he did a good enough.
That Holt McCanley shows up as
he's
Secretary
so
of Defense
good.
or something.
He's so good, isn't he?
And like I said, I feel like there needed to be like a movie in between or something. Real world stuff messed this movie up. And I wanted to like it. I still think people should go see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
For those action sequences alone. The movie's kind of a mess. I wish it were better. I wish it didn't end.
If I didn't see it on the big screen, it might be a 3-star movie for me.
And I almost forgot about this. It's my favorite kind of shot in the movie is I saw it in IMAX, and when Tom Cruise is in the Ohio going down to the Russian sub, he's in his diving suit, and he has to like flood the chamber.
Yeah.
And as he turns the wheel to flood the chamber, the screen turns to IMAX. So like he turns the wheel and the screen gets a little taller, and he turns the wheel, and then like, what?
I didn't notice that.
Yes, that was like my favorite show. Like, oh, okay.
Should we go see it again in the Screen X theater?
I'd kind of like to see it again just to see what still bothers me and what doesn't bother me as much. But like I said,
it sucks we can't see it with you because you're just tapped out every day.
I saw him this morning. I'm like, Rob, you got like 4 or 5 hours before we go podcast. We can go hop in the theater and see it real quick.
No, I don't know. I'm tired. No. You know who we didn't mention? Hannah Waddingham.
She doesn't have a lot to do. I
wish they would have had more of her in it.
Yeah, she's okay. She's not bad or anything.
She has her point or her one scene, and
I'm still not exactly sure what her.
Yeah, like
the president gives her a note.
Why did they show that? Like, other than that, there's some relationship with the two of these,
right? It's supposed to be a callback to the first movie, but we don't know what it's about.
Right? I think they fucked. They had to have, right?
Like, is she supposed to be like related to a character from the first movie? Did she date somebody in the first movie? Nobody seems to have an answer to that, and it's in a movie full of callbacks. That's not a specific callback. I can't figure it out exactly. So she's okay. Like I said, lots of people. I just wish it were better.
Yeah.
The Kevin Sorbo, Hercules
disappointed.
That was me.
Well, it sounds like there's like flashes of greatness in it, and that's probably what's more disappointing.
Like I said,
listen, man, you're going to be entertained when you see it.
This movie was on its way to being a 3-star movie, but I love those new characters so much, and the action was good that I couldn't go lower.
Dude, that whole stunt with the planes, dude, that just blew me away. I'm like, this motherfucker is crazy.
Well, I know this one scene, because I saw it on the trailer, was he's like jumping from like the carrier into the water. I'm like, that looked pretty intense just from what that is. So
yeah, it was nuts, dude. And then oh shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was listening to somebody talk about, it was like the pilot in one of those planes. Mm-hmm. And they said Tom Cruise actually passed out on the wing.
Oh yeah,
from all the air, and he had to put his head down a certain way so he wouldn't get all that air, and But I'm just like, this dude is crazy.
He's getting closer.
You can see.
I know, right?
You see his face, flapping in the wind.
Yeah,
his hair blowing. It's
those are 100% authentic shots.
He's like the American Jackie Chan.
He really is.
I respect Tom Cruise's commitment.
Do I like the guy? Movies. I think the guy's probably a dirtbag in real life, but something tells me he's got, he's
got some skeletons in the closet.
Yes, there's something there that just says that he's not the guy who he puts on for the public. But God, can that dude make a fucking movie?
It's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all. It's all I'm here for. But it wouldn't surprise me if there's a Diddy S trial in 10 years with Tom Cruise.
I wouldn't go that far,
maybe some skeletons that all these bitches talk about.
He's obviously like a focused, single-minded guy.
I wonder if like all of his exes have to sign NDAs.
Probably.
I bet. You can't, and they probably get harassed by the Scientologists. Right. So who knows? But that's all we have for you on this episode of the Sleazy Podcast. Call to action is the same thing as it always is and always will ever be. Share the show with somebody so we can get one more person listening. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you're hearting the TikTok videos if you see them and you like them.
Harass Robzilla, whatever.
I'm talking to you. Or you can talk shit to us.
Hi, I forgot to like it.
Whatever you want to do. If you didn't like my take on the Twilight movies, you can call me a piece of shit. I don't care. But that's all we have for you on this episode. And make sure you keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.